Hello and welcome to the Celtic Way Sitdown. Joining myself, Tony Haggerty, is a man who played for Celtic for 2.5 years. I feel very privileged to share the platform with this guy today. He was capped 51 times for Norway and he scored 4 goals for his country at international level. He represented his country at the 1998 World Cup finals and the Euro 2000 finals. He retired as a professional footballer in June 2010 and he later worked as a professional football commentator. But for all you guys out there, he scored the opening goal for Celtic in the 2000 League Cup final and a 2-0 win over Aberdeen at Hampden Park. It gives the Celtic Way great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome former Norwegian internationalist and Celtic player Vidar Riseth. Welcome to the Celtic Way, Vidar.
Thank you very much.
First and foremost, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. You can see behind me, it's the sun is shining, so I'm fine.
Well, you can maybe see in my screen it's a bit dark and damp in Glasgow, but you'll be used to that.
Yeah.
Now, we're just going to talk about your time at Celtic, Vidar. And the first question I've got for you is that you had the distinct honour of being Dr Jo Venglos' first signing for the club.
Yeah.
You 1.5 million from Lask Linz or LASK Linz. How did you feel when that came about? Was that great? A great move for you?
Oh yeah, it was a great move. In 1998, the World Cup 1998, I signed up for Celtic after the World Cup, and we had a good squad for in the national team, and we were in the same group as Scotland as well. So
That's
I
right.
played against Scotland, and I know Celtic were there and gonna look at me. So yeah, I played a good game against Scotland and also against Brazilian, and they saw me in Linz as well. So I know they were interested, and a deal gonna come. I talked with my agent and he said it's gonna come, but I had other few options as well after the World Cup, and but for me it was. Yeah, there was the team I want to sign up for. It was Celtic, and so I was really happy when they contact me and want to sign me up.
Brilliant. And can you tell us about the story that were you in Glasgow or London doing the deal, and Lask Lint said that you weren't, and was it a former girlfriend said you weren't either, that you were back home, something like that? It was some strange story that about the time that you were signing. Is that right?
Yeah, it's always like that when clubs are interesting in you. You want to don't talk so much to the press, and
Yes.
want to keep it down a little bit so we can finish the deal and everything.
Yeah.
And we just I just said to everybody around me, don't tell where I'm gonna go, and so we had the plan, yeah, about that,
Yeah.
and but the last person I told I'm gonna go to Glasgow this day. That was my wife. So I forgot because my wife, she was out and traveling, So I just
Yes.
sent her a text message, that goes so quickly, and I said I just have to travel to Glasgow because I'm gonna do the medical, and I see you tomorrow. I just write to her, and then I
Yeah.
jump on the plane, and some newspaper just I'm not sure what kind of newspaper that was, but they just phoned her up, and they asked if they could talk with me, and she said, "No, he's not home. He's in Glasgow." So that was a
Yeah.
funny story. Yeah,
So people worked it out from that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Brilliant. Can you remember being introduced by Fergus McCann as Vidmar Reset? Vidmar.
No, I never heard this story. No, and I haven't.
I think he introduced you as Vidmar, but there you go. But he
Yeah,
owned the club at the time, so he can get away with anything.
yeah, yeah,
When you signed Vidar, it's fair to say that there was a bit of turmoil at the club, wasn't there? You signed for Dr. Jo, then John Barnes came in. I mean, is it fair to say that Celtic fans never got to see the best of you?
Yeah, when I signed up for Celtic, this time they're struggling a little bit because they didn't get the money the fans hope to get, because it's okay to sign up a few decent players, but you also need to have these big names, what the fans want to have as well, so I signed up, and like 2-3 weeks after me, Johan Mjolby, he signed up, and then they signed up Lubo Moravcek, and I remember that because fans said, Lubo Moravcek, who's this guy, when are we going to get a big name? But Lubo, he could talk. He didn't talk so good English when he come to Glasgow, but he talked with his legs. Everybody could see he was a brilliant player, and that was, I think, the fans enjoy when Lubo signed, because he was a brilliant man and also a brilliant player. So that was good. But then they signed up John Barnes, and John come in with the way he want to play football. And I'm sorry, but there was a tough time, because we struggling, and we didn't find the way we want to play, and in the end, Kenny, he just have to sack John, but then Kenny took over, and then we start to play better and better, and we also won the cup final with Kenny, so that was good.
Now, you were described as a utility player, but you played a number of positions for Celtic, didn't you? Right back, left back, centre midfield, right midfield, left midfield. I'm going to ask you, Vidal, what was your best position? Because nobody's really seems to know.
Yeah. No, when I played the defensive central midfield, and in the defend, we play with the four behind, and one of the in the center behind, or defensive central midfield. That is my position. And when I left Celtic, I signed up for 18-16 in the Bundesliga in Germany. And I played these two positions for 3 years, and I played every week regular, and and I done it well. So that was my position. But in the national team as well, I've been playing in every position there as well. So it's normal for me. And in these days, you have to. I think every place have to show they can play in different positions as well, because that is good for the teams, because you always get injuries, and so it's not easy for the coach if you don't have like players who can play in different positions.
I'm going to ask you about the 99 season and Henrik Larsson's leg break in Lyon. That kind of had a kind of devastating effect and a destabilising effect on the team that season, didn't it? That was a big moment in that season for Celtic, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. I remember when Henrik, because I played in the defend. I remember when Henrik broke his leg. It was terrible. He was the biggest star in the team. And when Henrik have to go, when he broke his leg, we have to bring someone new in, and so we brought Ian Wright. Ian Wright.
Yes,
he come in for a short period, and everybody know Ian. He was a great guy. Everybody loves him. When he come into the club, that was good for the club, because he bring love into the club, and he was such a nice guy to every place. He was so funny, when we come into the dressing room, you could laugh for 2-3 hours, because he was so funny. And this time, I think that was really important for Celtic to get this player into the dressing room,
Yes, and spirits.
Yeah, for the spirits, but and he scored a few goals as well, but that was on his end of his career,
Yeah,
because he
yeah,
start to he just retired after that. And
yeah,
but I have to say, that was good to sign up Ian. But the fans again, they look for big names, who could come in.
of course. Yeah,
And yeah, and after that, I think there was Mark Viduka who come in, and he was a big
yeah,
signing for Celtic.
yep. And you've touched upon Lubomir Moravcik, but I guess it was a joy to play in the same team as Henrik and Paul Lambert and Ian Wright and Matt Viduka, as you say. They were all cracking players, weren't they?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like Paul Lambert, he was the captain in the team. He was, you know, I think the coach, when he picked the team, I think he picked the first player he always picked was Henrik Larsson, and then Paul Lambert, because Paul was the captain, and he was such a good captain. Outside of the pitch, on the pitch. So Paul was a great guy.
Yeah. Now that season ended with the Rangers winning the title at Celtic Park and what's known now as the shame game. Don't like to bring it up, but you were ordered off that day. Yeah, but I mean, what's your memories of that occasion? Because I mean, it was just one of those games, wasn't it? That everything was on the line and it all went wrong for Celtic. But I guess that was typical of the way the season went for Celtic from the moment Henrik Larsson broke his leg onwards.
Yeah, for the first, to lose against Rangers at home, that is the worst thing could happen for a Celtic player.
Yeah,
And this day, there was there was a, what can I say? There was so many yellow cards, so many red cards, and it was a really really tough game, and we didn't play well at all. And Rangers, they were a better team this day, and yeah, for us that was not good. And I remember as well, I got the red card as well. So that is of course is not good, but anyway, it's that can happen. And
yeah.
when it's happened, is good. It's happened against Rangers then.
What was it like to play in Rangers games, Vidar, coming over as a Norwegian to Celtic and experiencing games against Rangers? I mean, that I would imagine that would be a career highlight playing in those kind of matches.
Yeah, of course it was. I remember especially one game. We played at home. I got on the Sky Sport man of the match, and there was the 5-1 game. We beat the
Yes.
Rangers at home 5-1.
Yep.
I played on the right back this game. I had a good game, and that was so nice. When
Yeah.
it's not only to win, but we win for what can I say, for the family, for the fans and everybody who come to the ground and
Yeah.
see Celtic every week. And when we can beat Rangers 5-1 at home, it's the best feeling ever.
Yes, indeed. Now, can I ask you, Rangers had a really good side back then, didn't they? And Celtic
Yeah,
were always,
yeah. I have to be honest. Rangers, they had a really good team. Um, they had like Tony Widmar. They had lots of good signing, the good players, and so yeah, they had a really good team. But they also, we have to remember, they also signed up players with money they didn't have, and Celtic have never done that, because we have used the money we have.
Mhm.
Rangers, they use the money they didn't have, and that's why they have to go down to Division 5 or 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, they went down to, they started again in, yeah, the fourth tier in
Yeah,
Scottish football, yeah.
yeah. So, and that is not fair play either, when you signed up players and you don't have the money. So that was not good. But back to the quality of the team, Rangers had a really good team and good quality players. So that was tough for us to beat them with the squad we had.
Did you always feel like the underdog playing Rangers back then, Vida?
Yeah, yeah, but when we had this period, we had so many players who had we had a big squad, but we had lots of players who played regularly every week. They had bad injuries, like Henrik Larsson. We had Lubo was also out a little bit. We had a few players who had injuries, and we couldn't bring in new players to into the team, and that was a problem for us as well, And the squad, the squad was better for Rangers because they have more players, and the squad, if they got an injury, they could put on other players who was on the same, almost on the same level, and we didn't have that at this time.
Yeah. But on a happier note, you touched upon it earlier, but you scored the opening goal in the 2000 League Cup final. Celtic beat Aberdeen 2-0.
Yeah.
You must look back in that with an immense source of pride, because it's a few people that do that. Vidar scored for Celtic in a cup final at Hampden.
Oh yeah, that was a brilliant time. I remember also the week before, because the press was a little bit tough on me because I come from Norway, and in Norway we do a sport, different sports activity in Norway. That's normal. Number one, everybody who is born in Norway, they're born with ski on their legs. That's normal. Everybody goes skiing. That's number one. We go up to the mountain and go for rafting, and
Yes.
rafting, everybody go for rafting. So Kenny, the week before the cup final, Kenny Dalglish, he gave us 2 days off to just don't think so much about football, just do other things. So I said to my friend Marco, I said to Marco, can we go for and do the rafting? I said to him, and Marco said, yeah, no problem. So we went out up to the mountain, and we're gonna go for rafting. And when we come up there, the guy who owned this place, he recognized me, so he took some pictures down the river when we done the rafting, and the next day there was in every newspaper, how Vidar Riseth go for rafting before the cup final. So it was a little bit tough, but when I come to the final and I scored a goal, that was the best feeling ever.
Yeah, that's the answer, isn't it?
That's the answer.
That's the answer, to do it on the park. Yeah, and all the Celtic supporters still remember that. And it was, as you said, things picked up when Kenny Dalglish took over from John Barnes, didn't they? For a short period.
We had the same squad, but he had the other system. I remember when Kenny come into the dressing room and he said, okay, there's going to be a few changes, and the changes we're going to do is not the players, because we have the best players and the squad is good enough, but the system, we're using too much time to bring the ball up to the other goal, he said, to finish. So Henrik, he maybe get 4 or 5 crosses during the game. He need to have 15, 20 crosses during the game, so he can score goals, and he will score goals, So we start to bring the ball up. So when the other teams we played against lost the ball, we just gonna bring the ball up front to Henrik, Mark Viduka, Lubo was up there as well. Sure. We just have to bring the ball up there so they could start to score the goals. And Henrik, he was out this period, but we had Mark Viduka, we had Lubo, he was up there. So, and then he started to change everything. Then we start to win games again, and that was really good.
I was going to say, did you enjoy that period under Kenny Dalglish? I mean, he's still a legend at Celtic, Kenny, but that particular period, Celtic got it together again, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. He done a really good job, and he also said he's just going to do it for a short period, and then he's not going to be a regular coach, even if you win every game, he said. So, but the job he done was really good. So I enjoyed this period. Yeah.
Yeah. You spoke about Mark Viduka. Now, the legendary story with Mark is the Inverness Cali game and the half-time argument with Eric Black, and he refused to come out. I mean, what was that like, Vidar, being in that team and just that kind of dressing room at that time? Again, indicative of the times at Celtic, that there was turmoil and stuff like that, yeah?
Yeah, to say it this way, it's not going to happen. You start to. It's okay to argue, and not going to be agree, but you have to go out on the pitch and do the job.
Yeah.
So what Mark done there, that was not good, but there was in the dressing room, there was. They were not agree, of course. There was there was not fighting, but we have to go between them, and they stand there and had a big discussion, and so that was the first time ever in my career someone haven't go out from the dressing room and play the second half, so that was not good.
Well, I mean, what did you think about that? Did that shock you?
Yeah, that shocked me. Yeah, that shocked me. Not in the dressing room. The like a discussion. I've been in the dressing room.
Yeah.
The players have throw shoes on each other and everything. That's normal in every leagues. That's normal. But then you just go between, and then we say, okay, we have to have focus on the second game, so we go out. That's normal. Every team have that, but not everything comes out to the press. But
Sure.
that's normal. But still, you go out there and do the job, because you are a Celtic player. They pay your money, and then you have to go and do the job.
Yeah, of course, very much so. I totally agree with that. Can I ask you, how did playing for Celtic compare to the other clubs that you played for in your career?
It's when I played when I played in Munich, there was Bundesliga it's really big. It's like when we played at home, it's 85,000 in the stadium when we played against Bayern Munich and Dortmund and the big teams. And also when you go away, it's big clubs, and there's lots of fans who come to the ground. So what can I say? They have lots of good players, of course. Bundesliga is one of the best league in the world, and so it was really nice. But even if it's 60,000 in Parkhead and 85 in Allianz Arena in Munich, the atmosphere is much better in the Parkhead. Much better.
Yeah, you think it's much better at Celtic Park, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. So I always say when people say, "Oh, the atmosphere is so good in different countries," and I always say, "Go to the old firm, and then you will see what is the best atmosphere in the world." I say.
Excellent. I mean, a lot of Celtic supporters will be glad that you still say that. But that leads me on to my last few questions. But when Martin O'Neill arrived, you said at the time that you felt that he was one of the best coaches in the world, and that Celtic could be successful under him.
Yeah.
Is it a regret that you were injured when he first came in, and then he had a settled team by the time you came back, and eventually you left to join 1860 Munich? But would you love to have played under him?
Yeah, I got the injury, so I
Yes.
was out for a long time, and when he come in, and then he just have like a few weeks to just to find a place he want to put on, and I just saw when he come to the ground and start to train the team, and the thought what he thinks is the way to play, and the way he talk with the players, so every place just go together and want to be on his side,
Yeah.
And I just saw it straight away. He's the right coach. He was a brilliant coach, and he talked with everybody, and also the players who had the injury. Every day, we talk with everyone, and that's the culture you have to bring into to the team, so everybody just feel you are part of it, even if you're not playing or playing. Because if you get the injury, you are straight on the team as well. So what the coach think about you, and that was really, really good thing he bring into the club. So I didn't play under him, because when I come back again, I got this offer. So I almost signed up for Everton, because Celtic and Everton, they have agreed that the transfer. So I was on my way to talk about my contract with Everton, but then 1860 Munich come up, and so I just fly to Munich first and talk with them. And then I also had my best friend who played there, Erik Mykland. He played for this team, and the coach, he just want me to come. I could just feel he just want me there. So I didn't go to Everton and talk with them at all. I just signed up for 1860. So, but still, I mean, he was the best coach I have seen so far in Celtic.
Yeah, it was just the way he treated people and the way he dealt with people, basically. Yeah, and players.
Yeah, and also I could see for him, of course, it's important to everybody is fit, everybody is have the power into the games. So I could also see the way he put up the training. And we played. We had really good training, but we have shorter training. We didn't train for 1.5 hours. We could just only go out there and train for 45, 1 hour, and go back again, get fit, so you're ready for the weekend when you're gonna play, because then you need the power. So I just saw every week, and if someone had small injuries who was a regular player, he just took them out, and they maybe trained for half an hour or 1 hour, or he was a brilliant coach. Brilliant.
It's no surprise that Celtic were very successful under Martin O'Neill, Vidar, and lots of Celtic supporters love that era of the club. He was there for 5 years, and they enjoyed some great nights in Europe as well, and just some magic success.
Yeah, I was there only a short period, because I had this injury, and so I saw all the training, and when I come back, and the way I train under Martin O'Neill, there was the best way to train, and I could see everybody believed on his thought and his system, the way he wanted to play. So he was a great coach.
Excellent. Now, can I ask you, are you still a Celtic supporter to this day, Vidar? Do you still follow the fortunes of the team?
Every week. Every week. So I watch Celtic every week, and I just turned 50 years in April, so I'm an old guy now. I'm 50 years old, and I got my wife surprised me, so I'm gonna go now to the next game, Celtic against the Rangers in April, I think.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant! Yeah.
So and Celtic, they just contact us and give me good tickets and everything. So I'm gonna bring my family and my kids, and we're gonna go there, because my children, they were too small, so they don't remember when I played for Celtic. So now they're gonna go there and see the atmosphere. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that'll be a wonderful experience for your children as well, won't it?
Oh yeah. They only seen me on the television play for Celtic, so now they can see the atmosphere in live, and
sample it all for themselves.
Yeah. So it's gonna be nice.
And finally, if I could ask you, if you could sum up your time at Celtic, what would you say?
Best time ever, because because of the fans is number one, and also the culture in Glasgow. I liked it so much, and it's not every country you can go to, and you get summer for 2 minutes, winter for 2 minutes, then raining, and then it's snowing in the same day. So that was the weather was maybe not the best thing, you know, but still I just love to play for Celtic, and that is the best team I've been playing for, because of the atmosphere, the fans, and even after I think 16, 17 years since I played there, still I have contact with the fans, and when I go over, you know, I go to the Celtic pubs and sing song together with them, go in the stand. I just love it.
People talk about the Celtic family, Vidar. You clearly still feel part of the Celtic family.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, you know, I have contact with many of the supporters. You know, I keep contact with them for like 15 years, and so when I go to Glasgow, you know, I meet up with them, and we go to the pubs and drink and have fun, and we look football together.
That's fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been a memorable way to spend just over half an hour. I'm sure you would agree that Vidar Riseth's been a fabulous guest, a wholehearted and committed player. The Norwegian was a very good servant for Celtic. Thank you very much, Vidar, for your time. And all that remains for me to say is thank you to everybody for tuning in to the Celtic Way Sit Down with Vidar Riseth. Thank you, Vidar.
Thank you so much.